Hello, callers. Welcome to Viva Barca and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on the latest developing stories. We are going to be discussing on three stories in this episode. We start with the coach of the Barca Athletic, Rafa Marquez, who admits that he's really surprised by Andres Christensen, his performances lately at Barcelona. Of course, the Dane has been really impressing lately. Secondly, we talk about Memphis Depay, who left Barca to Atletico Madrid, as it have been reported that Atletico Madrid coach Diego Simeone is still unconvinced by Memphis Depay. Then lastly, we are going to be talking about Sergio Busquets, as it has been reported that the Barca veteran is leaning towards staying at Barcelona for another season. We are also going to be discussing more on that report. So guys, before we get right into the full story, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you are just coming across the channel for the very first time, you are highly welcome. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Barcelona Athletic coach Rafa Marquez has been talking about the first team's backline after seeing the defense concede just 7 goals so far this season. Marquez, who knows a thing or two about defending, reserved particular praise for summer signing Andreas Christensen, who arrived on a free transfer. Christensen has impressed so far this season and established himself as Ronald Araujo's centre-back partner, and Rafa Marquez is clearly a big fan. He said, "At the back, we are seeing more of Araujo and Christensen in the central axis. Perhaps the defender who has surprised me the most is Christensen, who is having a great performance and has adapted quickly," he said. "There is no doubt about how important Araujo is and the player he is becoming. On the right, Koundé is doing very well. Defensively, he is very safe and the offense surprises us at times. And on the left, whether Alba or Bade plays, they have a very complete defense." Those are the words from Rafa Marquez about the defense. So, of course, we all know Barca kept another clean sheet at the weekend against Sevilla in that 3-0 win. So that's now 15 clean sheets from 20 games in La Liga so far this season. What an impressive season we are having, guys. We just have to give credit to Xavi and the way he is setting up his team. 15 clean sheets in 20 games is so impressive. So impressive. I think it's a La Liga record, by the way. It's a La Liga record. We are doing great. Definitely, they always have this saying, defense win you titles, attack win you matches. And we can see that, the defense, that's clearly the case. Our defense have really pushed us so far to the level that we are currently in La Liga, all because of our defense. I think Koundé, Araujo, Christensen. In fact, we have one of the best defensive pairings in Europe. I'm talking about, because when you look at Xavi's his first choice, his first team setup, the back four, his best choice is always Koundé playing right back, because we don't have any natural right back. We have Alejandro Bade playing left back, who is the best left back now in La Liga without a shadow of a doubt. Then we have Christensen, who is currently on hot form right now, and we have Ronald Araujo. And I think those players are doing so well, and they have contributed a lot to keeping this back line, to keeping goals from coming. And I think if it continues like that, then we are going all out there to compete for every single trophy that we still remain in this season. So I think it's something to appreciate. Ter Stegen have been having a great time as well. Good saves. In fact, he does not even face a lot of shots because our defense keep him a lot from our opponents. When we take, for instance, the game against Sevilla, we did not see a lot of balls coming to Ter Stegen. Ter Stegen he barely got saves in that game, like most of the games in La Liga this season. Unlike the other last season also, when Barca was struggling, Ter Stegen had a lot to do because our defense was not good. But now that Ter Stegen has some reliable guys in front of him, and more to that, Ter Stegen, even when the ball comes, he do a very good save all games. So I think we are in a good state now. I think the team is getting balanced, and I think gradually, Xavi is getting to see what he wanted to see. He's implementing his style of play, which is, I think, is the fruits of the labor is coming now, and having 8-point gap in La Liga ahead of Real Madrid is something to celebrate. Then on to the next story of discussion. Atletico Madrid head coach Diego Simeone is rumored to be unimpressed by Memphis Depay's stats at the club. The Dutch international completed a move to Atletico from Barcelona in the January transfer window after the two clubs agreed a 3 million deal with 1 million in add-ons. Depay signed a 2.5-year deal in the Spanish capital until the end of 2024-25 campaign before making his Los Rojiblancos debut in their 3-0 win at Real Valladolid on January 21st. Simeone asked coaching staff to work with Depay individually to bring him up to match fitness following a spell on the sidelines in Catalonia. However, the Argentinian is still unconvinced by Depay's readiness to play in his Atletico team with just 20 minutes of action off the substitute bench since and very little impact. Simeone looks unwilling to break up the Antoine Griezmann and Alvaro Morata pairing with strong reasoning, and Depay is set for a big bad role in the coming weeks. Memphis Depay has not had the best of starts to his Atletico Madrid spell. Of course, Diego Simeone not happy according to reports about. He's still unconvinced. Let me put it that way. He still believes more of his pairing of Alvaro Morata and Antoine Griezmann in front. Little by little, I think because he left Barca injured, he is not still match fit. Even though he played some 30 minutes in the last game, but he's not really impressed. And Simeone is not really impressed with his performances so far. But let's see if things might change. Of course, Barcelona finally sold him after trying to push for a sale, just to ensure that Memphis Depay does not leave as a free agent, which finally they did, selling him for a price of 3 million euros plus 1 million euros in variables. Then on to the final story of discussion. Sergio Busquets' future at Barcelona remains the subject of much speculation, but the latest update recounts the captain is leaning towards staying for another season. Sports are reporting that Busquets had considered a move but is feeling a lot happier about life at Barca after an upturn in form in recent months. Xavi's switch to using four midfielders also appears to have helped out Busquets and is making the skipper feel more comfortable in the starting 11. Busquets is thought to have offers on the table from clubs in Saudi Arabia and the United States, but could now stay for one more season on a reduced wage. Xavi, Joan Laporta, and Matteo Alemany have all said they want the veteran to carry on at the club, and all that appears to be missing is the green light from Busquets. It's thought that the midfielder will meet with the club imminently, and a final decision will be made on whether he will continue past the end of the season. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time. Bye-bye.